finishing up our segment here, second episode of Lippe And Cain'S Renovation World. Very happy. Think that it went very well. We completed the whole sheetrocking job as we thought we would. Managed to put plywood in to even out the sheetrock. The very important thing to remember is the factory edge. When we were able to cut the two pieces of sheetrock together, needed to make sure that the factory edge was together. And Dan, yeah, I think it went really well. So tell us a little bit about the process of what we did, just sort of going over things with the plywood and everything else.
Okay, this is the trowel and the sheetrock cutting knife that we used. What I showed you earlier, I basically scooped some mud out of the bucket using this cutting knife, put it right on the trowel, kind of scooped it up again, you just mix it a few times, get that all ready to smooth out on your wall.
We really get everything nice and sanded and smooth. Get the wall cut for the next step, which we painted.
Right. So everything, you can see the factory edge, the seams, very smooth in back of you here. We're finishing our final segment here, Lippe And Cain'S Renovation World. We completed the sheetrocking. Right behind us, as you see, everything went very smooth. The sheetrock mud dried very well. I was very happy with that. All it really requires is having a few simple tools to make it happen. One of them is the drywall tape, very important. You can get this at Lowe's, Home Depot. There are different types of brand. And when the sheetrock mud is dry, you need to make sure that this tape goes along the factory edge very, very smooth before the sheetrock mud is applied. You really got to be secure. You know, we've run into that with this and other jobs that we had as well. So really just make sure that it's very tight around the edges, that you're usually probably going to be working a job with yourself and somebody else. I mean, rarely they'd be doing just one person doing it, you know, even if they were doing it at home. So again, mold resistant drywall tape, Lowe's, Home Depot, you can go to those places. There's all different types of brands, but just make sure that yeah, it's very smooth, it's very secure before you put the sheetrock mud down. So there's that. Some of your basic tools here, and again, you were showing them the whole process of the putty knife, and then the sheetrock trowel, and using one and kind of mixing it and making sure that it's really smooth. And that's really important, because you want to make sure that it's very, very smooth, because that's originally the problem that we had, was the fact that it was with the cement. You know, we wanted to fix that.
Which is no longer a crease.
No longer a crease, yeah. So that's something as well. The plywood.
Yeah.
You got to remind them on that. You want to say anything about the plywood, or?
I just remember earlier we had the concrete down here that was sticking out about a ½ inch more than the studs on the wall. So we went ahead and took that ½ inch up with some plywood and made it so there's no more crease. It's all nice and even. It's beautiful.
Really does. It looks great. I mean, it's sometimes you have that problem with a previous contractor, the way they put the sheetrock up, and it looks like the wall's sticking out. So you got to be ready for things like that. And then yeah, it's finishing up our segment here. You're pretty much ready to, you know, it's been sanded down, so they're ready to paint. And then the sheetrock mud, which is down here, is a big bucket. There's all different types of sheetrock mud that they can get. So we've showed you all the tools that you need. The sheetrock mud, very important. There are different types of brands that you can get. Usually you want to buy about a gallon or so. In this particular case, the square footage on the landing wasn't that wide, that long, but you usually end up doing other rooms, so it's good to have a gallon or even two gallons of good solid sheetrock mud. You can buy that at Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that, all different types of brands. It's good to have something that can just go right on, where you don't have to mix it in water to make the sheetrock mud. It usually takes a lot longer to do it that way. And
Pre-mix is the best.
Yeah. And usually, what do we say? Is it 24 hours you want to let it?
Right. Let it sit 24 hours before you would even touch it.
Right. All right, so that concludes our second episode of Lippe and Cain'S Renovation World. Just remember that you can get all these tools here, very easy to use, and we'll see you next time.